Hello, I'm Horceror. I want to find out what makes every single killer tick. There's one big glaring issue with that though. I play the Nemesis, essentially only the Nemesis. I physically cannot get thousands of hours of experience on every single character. So, I'm going to be interviewing people that do have those thousands of hours. One for every single killer. Welcome to Stars of the Fog. Alright, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Stars of the Fog. Today's killer is one that has two separate playstyles depending on who you want to be. They're from France, the Twins. My guest here today, basically synonymous with the Twins if you look them up in Dead by Daylight, Lynxi. They're mostly known for the Twins, but rather than me talking about it, I'm going to let her introduce herself. So, hello? Who are you?
Hello,
what are you
Sorry.
You're fine. So who are you? What are you known for? What are your credentials? And like, why the Twins?
Hi, I'm Lynxi. I've been maining this killer since the release, but I did start playing DBD in 2018, but when the Twins came out, I started maining them. Do you want me to tell a story about why I fell in love with Twins?
Yeah.
It was actually an accident. It was not love at first sight. It was not like anything that just clicked immediately. I thought they looked, I always liked Victor. I thought Victor was quite funny. I don't know, he's a cute little guy that goes, meh.
Me.
So, yeah, they came out. I did the PTB. It was fine. Very buggy PTB.
A sign of things to come.
But I have all the achievements in the game. And the Twins obviously have the Adept. And the Adept did not work. So, a little Miss Lynxi had to keep playing the Twins to try and get the Adept. And it did not work. And I think I've played so many matches, like, why can't I get this Adept? And I kept playing. I was like, oh my god, this killer's actually a little bit fun. Oh no. But it wasn't something I immediately clung onto, like, yeah, I'm a Twins main, because people didn't like them. It wasn't a very, popular killer. I don't really know what to compare it to. It's not like Skull Merch. It wasn't like really, really badly hated, but it was generally disliked. So I didn't want to associate with them straight away, because like, don't know about this, but I think it was about a month. They came out in December. I think about January or February. I was like, yeah, I think I'm a Twins main. And it was after I hit a few snipes with them. I think I hit about 3 snipes. I was like, yeah, I think I like this killer. Sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just kept playing them. And I started to get better at them and started to kind of see there's a little bit more depth there than people originally think of.
And were you really playing any Survivor before Twins, or was it just, have you always...
Yeah. So I started out as a Survivor main, I think in like 2020.
And who'd you play?
I started with Claudette, and then I went to Meg because I didn't know how to prestige. So I had loads of items on Claudette, and I didn't realize I wasn't prestiging her. And I was like, oh, I don't want to lose everything. So then I started playing Meg instead. And then I just kind of became a Meg main, and now I'm a Zarina main. But that was like originally... yeah, where I was at, yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah, but the queues were really bad back then. Like, Killer was really annoying to play back then, too. In 2018, 2019, even, like, 2020. It was pretty rough. You just had a lot of really awkward things to deal with. I mean, there was, like, God windows, obviously instant healing, old Dead Hard, old DS, old Sabo. There was Killer was not as fun back then. It was a lot more tough, I would say. And I was a little bit intimidated by it.
And then you got to Killing, I assume?
Yeah, like in, I think like late 2019, I think a little bit before Twins. I was like going into Killer, I was about, say, 25% Killer, 75% Survivor. When then Twins came out, and obviously I really got into Twins, I played everybody else. I think really when Crossplay came out, I believe that was in 2020, I might be wrong. That was when like the queues got so much better, and then it just felt like both sides were both decent queue times. Going to Killer, now I'm like a Killer main. I'm like 75% Killer, 25% Survivor.
I think that's about the exact same ratio I have, just because like I have 3 days of streaming Killer, and then I have 1 day of streaming Survivor with my community, so...
I do like an hour, 2 hours of Survivor, and then 3 with Killer. It depends. I mean, right now the queues are very bad with the anniversary, so...
yeah, I've just been getting a lot of drawing done, so it's been fun. Aside from queue times, of course, when you actually get into the game and, you like Victor's like, but what do you enjoy the absolute most about Twins? Like, what is the number one thing that always keeps you coming back, having fun? Like, what's the top thing for you?
Probably the multitasking and the strategy. Cutting people off, thinking about where I'm placing Charlotte, thinking about where I'm placing Victor. There's a lot of thought into it. With other killers, it's down, hook, hit, chase, down, hook. Well, Twins is like, okay, Victor goes there, he goes to that area. Charlotte's there around this corner. Okay, when that okay, I see that person on Victor. Now I need to switch to Charlotte. There's a lot of like, I would say teamwork, but obviously your teamwork with yourself, but like tag teaming, I guess. Also, I love Snipes, but Snipes can be like Snipes is a close second, like close as Snipes is nearly number one, but I would say like you do a lot more of the multitasking and the strategy throughout a whole game rather than sniping. It's also very fast, which is another thing. There's a lot of things, but yeah. Victor is very, very quick, and it feels good to get to a spot of a map very quickly, I would say as well.
He's like 5 meters a second or something, right?
150%? I don't know. I'm really bad at the MS. No, maybe that's with add-ons. I used to know all this, but I'm not as good at numbers anymore. I could do a fact check. Wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna fact check it. I'm curious. 6 MS. Wait.
6. Whew, okay.
Yeah, is that 150?
Math is mathing.
I think so, yeah. He's fast. Yeah, it's 150. I was actually right, yeah, 150%. So yeah, he's a fast boy. And that's without speed add-ons. Because for me, when I play other killers, I know where everybody is. I have a weird talent of tracking every survivor at every point, remembering the last time I saw a survivor.
Yeah, I actually, with Pufflope's video with you, I was in the same series, not the hashtag flex, but... watching you just tell him like, okay, they're over there, and like I have no fucking idea. Like you just, like, it was really impressive just watching me like, okay, yeah, they're over here in this corner doing whatever, and I'm like, how do you know that? And like it was really cool to watch. Yeah,
I don't know. The weird thing I do, I saw they go unhook in 1, 2, 3, and they like. I would say 75% of the time, I am on the second that they unhook. Or they go do that gen in that corner in 5 seconds. I just kind of know. I don't know. Guess game sense or feeling. Like an Unbreakable, I know the second they're going to go up Unbreakable and I switch back and get them down the second they get up. Just stuff like that. But on other killers, I can't take as much advantage of that knowledge compared to Twins. It's like, I know where 3 people are, but I can only go for 1. But as Twins, I go for both. That makes sense. There's some chess going on in my brain when I play Twins. It's yeah, it's a lot.
it is really impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you. I don't know. I scare myself sometimes with my predictions. I'm like, I don't want to be. Why am I so precise with some of these things? It also sucks when I know I'm gonna lose. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna do that. Jen, they're gonna do that. Jen, they're gonna do this. I probably have adrenaline on that. Probably go here, and then it's like, oh, that actually happened because I can't. Like I do a mistake or something. Can be frustrating with that too.
And is there anything specifically, like, is that probably the most frustrating thing about Twins, or like what do you dislike the most about them, if there is something? Okay, well, I feel like the obvious answer is going to be like how bugged they get every once in a while, but like,
yeah, of course. I mean, I think everyone will know about the bugs, but they've definitely gone a lot better. I think a lot of people assume Twins have been a buggy mess all the time. I mean, since their rework, they've been a lot better. They're a lot faster. Before, you would get a bug, and they were so slow, you could lose because of that bug. But if I have a bug now, they're a lot quicker, so I can kind of recover more. It's like old Twins, you could not really make any mistakes. You can make a few amount of mistakes just because you take so long to hook people. The bugs is, a big thing. And it's just like, man, the events and stuff, the devs just kind of forget that they exist. The Halloween event is terrible for the Twins. Even this current event is terrible for the Twins as well. The Halloween event, people can go into portals. Victor cannot go into portals. This event, everyone gets healed from the tricks thing, and they get exposed. Victor can't deal with exposed. They get haste. Victor doesn't get haste. Things like that's quite frustrating. Obviously, like healing, anti-slugging, but there's been worse instances, like when syringes would like fully heal people from the floor, and when medkits were fast and healing other people, and old circle of healing stuff like that was really frustrating. But it's been a lot better recently, so I probably would just say like the bugs and just being forgotten, like an event like people don't take Twins into account. Like the devs don't take Twins into account when they do some changes, and that's really frustrating.
Yeah, like I know Twins is kind of like the slugging killer, but I think they've announced, or it was a leak, I don't know, that they're trying out like base kit unbreakable in the new chaos shuffle mode, and it's like, oh, that's not going to be good for Twins especially, right?
It makes Twins slug more. I look on the HUD, I see the second you get up, I remember where you've been down, I go back to Victor, hit you again. I can counter Expo, I can counter No Miva, I know the timings of it. It sounds evil, but it is. I just see the HUD, I'm like, okay, she's got up, down that person, go back to what I'm doing with Charlotte. Because I don't have time to run over there, I'm wasting time. I can't leave you with Victor because you get back up, so I actually slug more when there's anti-slugging. But I do have a solution. Do you want me to tell you my solution to making Twins slug less? I called out the really bad PTB just as like, give myself a little bit of credit here. I made a video why they shouldn't make it so Victor can't be kicked and why that's not a solution.
This was the for just in case someone doesn't know, this is the PTB where it was like Twins was better than Nurse, right?
Yeah, it was like a year ago, April.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And like their rework quotation marks, but just made them OP as hell. But I called that out. A dev saw that video a year before they made the rework. The devs have seen it. They still went through with it. I was right. They scrapped it. But my idea is there's two versions of it, but it's the same kind of idea, right? You down with Victor, you have an option to switch to Victor's position with Charlotte. You could either destroy Victor with this, or you could switch places with Victor, but can't immediately switch back to him. So if you do a misplay, then a survivor by Charlotte's old position could then kick Victor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes down across the map, I'm too lazy. I cannot be able to walk all the way over there. Honestly, but if I could just immediately switch over there. So then if you do that, you can't just go over to Victor and keep downing people. That's why I'm saying either like destroy him when you do that, or you put him on like a bit of a cooldown so you can't just switch back to him. But that's like my idea to kind of fix the slugging issue. They'll still be strong. It's not necessarily a nerf. It just makes it so it's you're more encouraged to hook.
And you get a little bit of map mobility out of it too. So it's like a little bit A, a little bit of B.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah. Well, that's what I mean. You probably would like destroy Victor. I would say I would lean more towards that because Twins is a lot stronger now. But I proposed this like when they were a lot weaker. Well, sluggish, I would say. I wouldn't really say they were weaker before. It's difficult. Slower. When they're a lot slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. More punishing. That might be the right word.
And would that be like the main thing you change about Twins if you just hypothetically had full control? Like that would be the thing?
Yeah, definitely. Just make it so you switch to Victor. Yeah, you have a choice to switch to Victor's position only after you've downed somebody. Don't make it a constant ability because then people would take advantage of that.
Yeah, and you don't want it to just be like, oh, well, I just, I got an injury with Victor, and now I'm going to teleport and then put my hand on their back like I'm Springtrap, you know? It's like, hey, how you doing?
That's what I mean, like, it's only, let's say, 10 seconds after you've downed the survivor, you get the option to then put Charlotte where Victor is and sacrifice him for 15 seconds, I don't know.
Wow, 5 sacrifices in a trial. Twins OP.
Victor gets sacrificed a lot more than that in the trial, don't worry about that. There's lots of Victors. But yeah, I think that would help a lot. Personally, as somebody that's been playing this killer for 5 years, I've had a lot of instances.
And do you think that would help like alleviate a lot of the frustrations that survivors have with playing against Twins?
Maybe. I don't. I mean, end of the day, it's up to the players, right?
Yeah.
Like how people play Twins. Twins are strong, but they demand teamwork. You need to work as a team. And if anyone's played solo queue, that isn't always the case. You need to take body blocks. You need to heal quickly. You need to go in lockers if Charlotte's not nearby. You need to pay more attention against Twins. Like, where is Charlotte? Are they on Victor? You can hear when they're switching. And the average survivor isn't. And plus they're not played much. So it's a difficult one. But I mean, obviously they bring in these anti-slug things, and I guess Twins will be more enjoyable to play against, but you probably will not see Twins even more than you do right now. Yeah, I don't know, it's tough. It's tough to say what would make people like Twins more.
Yeah.
You have to have a balance between making fun and strong to play, but also not an absolute nightmare. But I do think, no shade to any Ghoul mains, but I do think Twins are more enjoyable than Ghoul because they can get a free injury against you with Victor, but they can't then injure everybody else. Twins are really, really strong when everybody's injured, or 2 people or 3 people are injured. But if you're Twins against a full...
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Ghoul or Legion or Plague. Like, they can snowball injuries, but they can't snowball to get the injuries.
Yes, exactly. You can double Victor, which is you attach to Victor. It's 30 seconds until you can recall him, and then you down them again, and then you switch, and then you pick them up. But that's a lot of time wasting. It takes a lot of time. Depends on the map, obviously, and on the survivor. That's why typically, if I do attach a Victor, I will then switch. So that's 2 people not on generators, or try and hit people first and then down on Victor, because you ideally want Victor to be doing something. You don't want him to just be sitting doing nothing.
He's not paying rent in her chest, so he's got to do something about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you're personally playing Survivor and you come across a Twins, out in the wild, do you really enjoy playing against them? Like, especially, or like?
Yeah. It's I know what I'm doing. Like, people don't crouch in terror in his shriek radius. What I do, because he can't hear you, and then crouch up and kick him. You can heal the survivor and then take a hit. You can go in a locker. It's nice to be able to use their counters against them, but it can be frustrating if somebody just is not aware and they just don't kick him, and he's right there, and and if just down me and you just stare at him, that's really frustrating. No, typically I really like playing against them, but I will say I enjoy most killers. There's not many killers I don't enjoy going against.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I think the fun of DBD is variety, be that items, perks, maps, killers, everything. I think every match being different in a way is a good thing. You might not like twins, but I think one twins is more enjoyable than 10 blights with pain res, Deadman switch.
Come back to hook, hard title at 5, like...
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I don't really enjoy the night, but I don't mind it. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's something different. I don't want 10 of them in a row, but...
Sorry, Pixie.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, it's just, I don't mind him. I don't mind the night. It's something different. I don't hate him at all, but I just wouldn't want him all the time. Like, if I had twins 10 games in a row, probably wouldn't love it because of the solo queue. Depends on your build, of course. Some builds are very good against twins, but it's just, it's tough when your teammates don't know what they're doing half the time.
Like Wiglif being a perk that's just a direct counter, twins kind of.
Yeah, I mean, the worst one is probably Expo, or I'll say Expo, Adrenaline, and it used to be Power Struggle, but Power Struggle's not, it's still bad, but it's not as like, before you literally couldn't even counter it. Now you're fast enough that you can counter it. So I would say Expo and Adrenaline, because you can have a 4-man injured the last gen pop, so now there's no chance for you to get that 4k, or very difficult at least. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they all just meal up, so...
Yeah, and Expo's just annoying because you can't snuff boons with Victor, so you have to walk over with Charlotte. And again, as I said before, you just end up down that person, they got back up again, down that person again, and slowly move over Charlotte, down them again, slowly move over Charlotte. It's just very, very annoying to deal with.
Just start a petition. Let Victor snuff boons.
Yes, please. Back in the old Circle of Healing days, I really wanted that because that was miserable. That was really miserable, but... I
actually played Plague during that time because I didn't want to deal with boons. Like, it was bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was really bad. Maybe some people don't know because it's so long ago, but boons, you used to just be able to heal yourself. Like, you could go in it and just heal yourself. It was a free self-heal. I don't think it was slow. I think it was like normal speed, no? It wasn't self-care speed, I don't think.
It was 100% speed. It's like just normal heal speed, yeah.
Yeah. And I think with medkits you could make it faster. I don't know.
Yep, it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And like people would down people and they would just fully heal before I got there as Charlotte. Like that's how bad it was. Down, kick Victor, and I'm not that far. Walk over, fully healed. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've played through all stages of twins. That's why generally they are the best they've ever been. There are bugs, but you don't just get screwed over because one guy took a perk or one guy has 2 people have a medkit. It can recover a lot more now.
And I'm sure you saw this one coming, but with twins and the bugs, could you tell me all about them?
Okay.
I don't even play twins, and I know there's been some bugs. So, like, what are maybe, like, the most known ones and just any notable ones that you want to talk about?
Like, right now or in the past?
In general, whatever.
Oh, goodness. I have to...
From the beginning to the end to now, whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, that was a lot. I could tell a little story. So it was...
I love stories.
Oh, I think it was in 2023. I think it was the end of 2023. So there was a bug around. I think it was around for about 3 months. Let's say 3 months. It was around for a while. But I never got it. So what would happen, you would get Victor out, and then, like, Charlotte's torso would get stuck, and it would stretch out, and you couldn't move. It was very bizarre. You would pretty much get soft-locked, and you had to DC. And I had so many people message me, like, I can't play twins. Why do you play twins? And I was playing twins regularly. Never, ever, ever had that bug. It was very strange. So, like, I was like, well, what is going on with this? I actually figured out what it was, and I was able to replicate it. So there was one thing I did. I did a poll, and I asked my community and on Twitter and stuff, I was like, okay, people getting this twins bug, please fill in your specs and what you play on. And I went through like over 100 responses, one of my friends that knows like computers, and we saw like the thing in relation to it is people either have an old computer or they're playing on like old gen consoles. So I went into a match and I have like these little Victor dancing renders. They're like 4K. They take up a lot of like memory. So I played all of them. I think I have about 10 of them. I played them all on OBS. I recorded at the highest bit rate possible. I lagged my game as much as possible and I got the bug. I was like, I did it. So that was quite a memorable moment for me that I discovered it. But it was very, It was very bizarre, really, really strange. So, but that was about a year and a half ago. There was another one where they kill switched them. I don't know exactly why. There was like a kill switch. There's just been like weird stuff here and there. I can tell you the bugs right now.
Yeah, go for it.
Since Ghoul came out, Victor just like slides off survivors randomly. So before FNAF, and after Ghoul, I wasn't able to play Twins at all because I would play them and I would slide off this, slide off that. And I had some people, like, you remember last time with the bug I mentioned earlier, that like old consoles was getting the problem and not new consoles? Well, I had people on console telling me, I can play Twins. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So would you... I went in a custom match and it happened about 5 times in a row. I said, what are you talking about? It's not bad. Well, I got a message on Twitter. This guy saw my video about it and he tested. And if you play on 60 FPS, you don't get the bug. I was like, are you kidding me? So then I had to play Twins on 60 FPS and it fixed it, actually, because this game is perfect. He also had like a permanent switch bug during that as well, where you would, if you attached to a survivor with Victor, you just get stuck on that survivor forever. I never had that, but that was also a thing. They fixed that now, but currently, like, you can play on 120 FPS, but I get this bug sometimes. Like, I slide off people sometimes, but I just play a lot better on 120 FPS, so I don't really want to go back to 60 FPS. It's I'm a bit spoiled because it's double the FPS, you know. So many more frames. I can really like predict people's movement. There are some other bugs, like Victor can't hear unhooks or generators. He's been able to hear them for 4.5 years, and that, or 4 years, something like that. And for like since the Ghoul, maybe even before the Ghoul, for a few months that hasn't worked. Victor can now just see scratch marks if Charlotte has seen them. So if you are on Charlotte and Meg has run into the shack, you switch to Victor, Victor will see like those scratch marks from when you were on Charlotte, if that makes sense.
But he wouldn't see any new ones from when you swapped to Victor.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Okay.
When you get Victor out, he gets like killer instinct instantly around him right now. It's also really weird. They have like permanent bloodlust, tier 1. But it's like, I don't know if it's actually permanent. It used to be, but the icon is there all the time. So there's like, I think that's like the main ones I can think of. But like, you know, the Victor can't hit unhooks and generators. It's annoying, but it's not game breaking. The scratch marks is weird, and I can't remember the other one I said, but those ones are fine. Like, they're annoying. Hopefully they get fixed eventually. But the sliding off survivors is very frustrating. Because you just, what can you do? You slide off, you get kicked, and then you get a longer cooldown. It's very annoying. So that's like the biggest issue currently.
Yeah, like getting robbed when you get a hit. Exactly.
Yeah. They have such a reputation for having so many bugs. And they have been really good before, but people just, whenever they try Twins, they probably get a bug and they just assume that's how it is all the time. But I said, generally they are a lot better, because if you get a bug, you can recover it from it. Well, old Twins, not at all. Very rarely, at least.
Yeah, old Twins, you'd get a bug and then game over. Sucks to suck, I guess.
Yeah, because it's just so, yeah, they're all healed. You're just not fast enough. So, yeah.
And kind of adjacent to bugs, I guess it's an opinion, of course, but sometimes when there's a bug on a character, it can be kind of transformed into a positive for said character, like a tech. Just like with Nemesis, you can throw the whip, you can drag it, the whip drag, like that's a tech, right? So does Twins have necessarily any specific techs that you can like share with the class that you might want to talk about, that you're like really proud of? Just because I don't know a lot about Twins and I like hearing about dope shit, so.
Yeah, okay. Well, Victor can bounce off objects, but it's not as reliable as you would think. But there's like 2. There's a little barrel on Dead Dog, because it's a very hard pallet to get over on Dead Dog in the shack. And you can bounce onto a barrel and bounce like diagonally into the survivor if they're hiding to the right side. So say you're by the gallows, you're looking at that pallet. You can't jump over it because you're too far low. It's one of the only god pallets you can't do that on. So you can bounce off the barrel onto it. But also with bouncing, I actually discovered something, I think it was 4 years ago now. I was quite early into me playing Twins.
Wow.
On the harvester on farm, you know, the one,
Yeah.
So vote on the left, vote on the right. On the right, there's these hay stacks, hay barrels.
Hay bales, yeah.
Hay thing. Yeah. Victor cannot, like, he can jump up there, but if you jump up there, they just kick you, right?
Right.
And he can't walk up there, he can't vault windows. So you kind of, if you're chasing somebody on the harvester and they go to the right, there's no way to get them. But I found a little trick by accident many years ago, and you can bounce. If you aim very directly in a very specific angle, you can bounce to the right and hit people if they're standing there. It's really cool. But I would say that's like the most tech I can think off the top of my head that's actually like out of the ordinary.
Just using Victor like a tennis ball and bouncing him off something.
Yeah, but it's harder than you would think because he's a bit unreliable. A bit like Trickster blades, you know, like bouncing blades with Trickster can be a little bit. You would hit one and then you're like, oh, it goes that direction. You can't do that with Victor. You can't hit him there and be like, oh, what's that? Yeah, you can't really test it because you miss, you get kicked. Yeah, but
And Trickster has like 46, so
yeah, exactly. There is two others. I call one of them Spirit Tech. It sounds really stupid.
I have a bunch of stupid name tags, it's fine.
Yes. So I down somebody with Victor, I just stand still. And people just think I've like switched back to Charlotte. So they like run up to him and try and kick him. I'm like, so I just like stand still and they just, you'll be surprised how often this works. I mean, for people that don't know, if you can kick Victor, he has a different animation and he glows red.
He's bright red, yeah.
But because people don't know Twins, they just see him standing still and think they can come up and kick him. So I do that. One more as well. If you down the survivor and there's another survivor there, I'd say it's about 50% success rate. You go on top of the slug and you try and like get the survivor prompt to go on the slug instead of Victor. And if as soon as you see them healing the slug, you just step back and then you hit them. If that makes sense.
Because they're the same button, which is just M1 with, ooh, can't kick me.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's about 50% success rate. You have to really try and like position yourself so you're on top of the slug. You don't always have time. But when it works...
And if the down survivor is smart, they can just press shift and then...
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how smart people are with that, but yeah, when it works, it's really good. So I'll say that's what my like techs are, off the top of my head at least.
So, like, you know, a lot of dope shit about the Twins and things you can do, skill expression, stuff like that. But that's all playstyle stuff. So, as I'm sure you're aware, every killer in this game has a backstory, the lore. So, are you a playstyle purist? Do you enjoy their lore? Is it a little bit A, a little bit of B? Or what's the, like, how do you feel about, you know, Victor and Charlotte as characters rather than just as, like, a playable thing in Dead by Daylight?
Oh, like the lore. How I feel about the lore?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I think well, the original concept for them was a mother and a baby, which I think Twins is way better than that because a mother and like her unborn baby, that's got a lot of issues. So I do like that they're brother and sister. I just wish like we got a bit more. I wish their like visual design was more interesting. Like Charlotte looked a little bit more badass. I think Victor's perfect. I just wish Charlotte there was just a little bit more coolness there. She just looks like, I get she's like a peasant, but I wish she just looked a little bit less like a peasant.
I wish she was a dope peasant, man.
But there is a little theory that I like. I actually talked to Pixelbush, the lore guy, about it a long time ago, if you know who he is.
I fucking love Pixel, he's great.
Yeah, he disagrees with me.
Oh!
But this is like so he thinks the latter is true, but we'll see. So in the lore, I haven't read like the entire lore, but I know roughly what it is. Victor died when he was like in his teenage years, I don't know, 12, 13. So he's not a baby. For people that think he's a baby, he's not.
Yeah, he's just a short guy.
Yeah, he's a short guy.
He's just very malnourished and deformed. He's not like 2.
Yeah.
Not kicking a baby.
Yeah.
You're kicking a young man.
A young man, short king. But anyway. Yeah, so he died around 12, 13, something like that. Charlotte was depressed. I'm sad. I don't know, survived for 10 more years. Depressed, I don't know. She wasn't having a good time. And she died, or she pretty much, like, I think she was dying. I can't remember exactly. And in the fog, like with the entity, it like showed Victor. He was a bit deformed. Like they had like, he looked more malicious. They like changed how he looked a little bit. But, you know, she saw him again. And then she went into the fog to be reunited with her brother, right?
Right.
But this is where the theory comes in. Do you think Victor is actually Victor, or do you think it's a fake Victor that the entity has made? Do you think Victor's actually revived?
I think he's a fake.
That's what I think. I think that's so much more tragic if it's like, because hear me out, right?
Right.
The entity's like Charlotte has had such a depressing, tragic life, and you know, finally she gets a bit of happiness in the realm. It makes more sense for the entity if you can't just revive people that have been dead for 10 years. he looks different. And from a gameplay standpoint, Victor is Charlotte. Like, you control Victor individually, like, separate. Not, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, like he's not walking around on his own, and you don't like order him like Houndmaster. I mean, I'm not calling him a dog, but you don't order him around.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it's actually not Victor. But Pixelbush disagrees. He thinks it is Victor. So, but that's just something that I think that's more messed up. I think that's more tragic. I think it kind of makes a bit more sense, but that's kind of, yeah, I think I would like if that's true, but who knows if we'll ever actually get like confirmation of that or not.
I don't know. I mean, it's a non-zero chance that eventually like a Twins tome or thing drops, but
We had a tome before, but it just was like how Charlotte survived.
what if we get a second tome?
I mean, I think the devs forgot that twins exist half the time, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe.
You're talking about looking cooler, so with the cosmetic choices she has, like, do you believe me, I haven't looked at the store, I just take whatever I get that's free and passes or whatever, but do you like the options that they have? Do you think they have enough outfits or not enough? And, like, is there a specific cosmetic idea that you would really like to see made? And currently, what's the Lynxi fit?
Ooh. Okay. Well, if you had asked me in 2023, in 2025 now, yeah, I would have said, oh, they're terrible. They're really bad. They got nothing. It's really bland, nothing different. But we got I think 3 skins last year. I believe one of them was late 2023. So there's a lot more options now. Before it was like nothing. One of them is a community made skin, like Behavior commissioned somebody to like make a skin, and like made the skin for twins because they knew me, which is kind of cool. Fun fact.
That's cool.
So it's Flesh and Bones. It's the one, I don't know, she's got like bones on her and flowers. We have that one. We got the Nature's Respite, where like Charlotte's got loads of flowers everywhere. It's like pink. She's got blonde hair of a braid. That one came out and was really nice. There was one from mobile that got ported. I said she looks like a Bloodborne character. It's called like Harrowing Time. I don't know if you've seen it. She's got like a big hood on, very bulky. She's got like long grey hair. It's very interesting. So we had that one come out, and then we had this new one. I think it's the newest one. It's the Jinju Ito collection.
Junji Ito.
Yes, that. I didn't butcher it at all. Yeah, and it has like a little girl on her back. It's fantastic. So that's kind of the one I use the most. The problem with like a lot of twin skins is for some reason they put a hole in Charlotte's shoe. I'm sure people don't realize this if they don't play twins.
That's the shoe you kick with, huh?
If you look at Charlotte's feet, she either has her toes out or she has shoes on and one foot has a hole in it. I'm not even kidding. For some reason, she always has her toes out or she has a hole in her shoe. It's really annoying.
Behavior's never beating the allegation.
But it's like ugly. It's ugly. It looks bad. But in this skin, the oh my goodness, you gotta say it again.
Junji Ito.
Yeah, Junji Ito. Skin. She has shoes on, no holes. She's got socks on. She's got a nice, like, long black dress on. She's got a cool weapon. She's got some creepy girl on her back. It's fantastic. Like, I love it. I think it's 10 out of 10. It's a shame it's a set, but, like, outside of that, there's, like, other things to mix and match. There is another set skin called Blood and Guts. It comes out during Christmas, but it doesn't need to be a set. I'm quite frustrated with that one. They launched with it, but that would open up like more cosmetic, like mix and match possibility. In terms of like a dream skin for twins, I mean, it's obviously to give them like matching skins. It'd just be funny, like Santa and an elf, or like licensed stuff.
Give Victor a hat.
Like, swap them, make Victor Charlotte, like, I don't know, Victoria and Charles, like, do weird shit.
Oh. That sounds terrifying, actually.
Yeah, just do weird things to them. I said, like, you can give her an icy skin and just make him blue. Like, just do something with him. Give him a hat, make him blue, give him a wig, and call him Victoria, and then make Charlotte, Charles. I don't know. Just, I feel like there's so much possibility there that they don't go with. They just give her, oh, she found this in the bin. Oh, she found this in the woods, in a tree. Like, it's all very boring outfits. And I get people say, oh, well, it needs to be lore accurate. Well, Blight can be a Greek god, so I think it's fine if Charlotte can have a piece of clothing with no holes in it. Like, I just want, like, a nice, like, a cool outfit. Just something that looks pretty badass, or, like, doesn't have, really dirty or loads of holes in it, pretty much.
And now, speaking of holes in things, Dead by Daylight's add-on design has a good bit to be desired every once in a while. I, for instance, play the Nemesis. I have 4 add-ons out of the 20 possible. Pyramid Head on the current PTB, when this is recorded on the 9th of July, 2025, just got a full add-on pass. It looks fantastic. But with Twins, how do their add-ons stack up to the rest of the killer roster? Do you think they're, like, well-balanced? Do you think they're overtuned, undertuned? Are there any that are problematic or stand out? And what are your favorite add-ons to run?
The Twins add-ons are just very boring. The add-ons kind of match how they look by default, I would say. There's probably about 5 that are interesting, but the problem with the Twins add-ons, so, okay, this add-on will do this when you crush Victor. So what that means is survivors pulling Victor off their back. But most people who've played Twins or play against Twins, there's this whole thing about holding Victor hostage. That's a whole nother thing, but you're not really meant to hold him hostage. But most people do. Most people don't pull him off. So I'm manually recalling him. So that kind of makes half of their add-ons completely useless, because people don't pull Victor off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because usually Twins will be like, give me back my Victor.
Yeah. And all the other, like some of the other ones, it's very, very small. You're talking 0.5-second difference. One of them is like crushing Victor while he's dormant reveals the survivor's aura for 6 seconds. I don't want to do that. If I hear somebody about to kick Victor, I will switch them and attach. Another one's like, it makes it take longer to crush Victor, like to pull him off. Yeah, they're not great. I can't remember fully with the rework, but I think they changed some add-ons with the rework. I'm pretty certain, but then they scrapped it all because that rework was an absolute disaster. So we kind of just got left with what we were with before, and like a toy sword base kit. But I don't know. I think the most interesting add-on is probably the iridescent pendant. So when you kick Victor, you get exposed for 45 seconds. So you could do some funny plays with that. A lot of people call it like fishing. You kind of put Victor out, bait him out. They kick him, you're like hidden around a corner of Insidious or something else, and then you quickly go and hit that survivor after they kick Victor. I think that's their most interesting add-on. Everything else is just not got the most personality, or it doesn't really work. For example, there's Cat's Eyeball, or Cat's Eye. Victor becomes silent while his pounce is charged. So when like Victor's charged up his pounce, or when he's like walking around, you can like hear him. He does like little shrieks. So when you would fully charge it up, he would be completely silent. So you could do like a stealthy, funny Twins. Well, now this add-on's terrible. When they reworked Twins, they made it so you get a lullaby when Victor's like in your radius. Like, if you have the visual heartbeat, you'll see like a lullaby. So like if you fully charge with a Cat's Eye and he becomes silent, you still have the lullaby. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know if it's just an oversight. So the Cat's Eye went from kind of a funny meme add-on to like actually useless. Like it doesn't work anymore. You can't sneak up on people with Victor because they could just see the lullaby, if that makes sense. Yeah. In terms of my favorite add-ons, you have the iridescent silencing cloth. It's pretty easy to understand. When you switch back to Charlotte, she gets undetectable for 20 seconds. It's very good for like indoor maps. It's good for hiding Charlotte around generators around the corner. You can switch back and get a grab or get a sneaky attack on somebody. I really like silencing cloth. I would say it's one of their best. You also have the forest stew. It's pretty simple. It makes Victor run faster. I mean, Victor's already fast. If you make him faster, it's even better. So that one's very, very good. Spinning top is actually probably going to be even better after this update if they go through with the Franklin's changes. Pretty much Spinning top just makes it so if you hit somebody with Victor, they drop their item. It's nice to combo with Vecna's perk. What's it called again?
Weave Attunement.
Yeah, look at you. Yes, so if you take the Spinning top with Weave Attunement, it actually works. It's really like the Spinning top. You also have the Stale Biscuit. So when you miss with Victor, your pounce cooldown gets shortened. Pretty much when you miss with Victor, you get a little bit less time to kick him. I actually think this add-on's bugged. A few people have told me it doesn't work, so don't take it right now. But when it does work, it feels good. It's a feel-good add-on. If you're sniping for distance, you recover Victor a little bit faster so you can keep running faster. Sometimes they won't get the kick because you have Stale Biscuit. So the only other two running is Tiny Fingernail. Victor comes out of Charlotte's chest hole quicker, and Toy Sword makes Victor pounce faster. Everything else is like, I don't know, you can do like, I don't know. You can do like little niche stuff maybe, but they're just so small. Number of mounts, they don't really make much of a difference. So how many was that? Like 5, 6? 6 add-ons I actually recommend running. Everything else you kind of have to build around it or play around it.
It's more than I have, so...
Well, you're eating good if all those changes go through.
I play Nemesis. I'm not a...
Oh, I thought you were Pyramid Head. I'm so stupid.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
I was like, yeah, Pyramid Head add-ons about. Yeah, no, your Nemesis.
No, I just brought
rip.
it up as an
Sorry.
example.
Yeah, no, I had a like. Well, if you're a Pyramid Head main out there, then you're eating good. He's not eating good. He's Nemesis. Rip. Maybe one day with Pyramid Head, they've got less killers with terrible add-ons that they now need to fix.
Yeah, I had like 4. Pyramid Head had like 2, so you know I'm probably next, which I'm looking forward to.
Hopefully.
And with the other half of things that you run, what about perks? Do you think there's any perks that Twins uses better than any other killer? Like, do you think there's a Twins perk out there? And what is your favorite perk?
Oh, okay. There's 2 perks in particular. They're quite funny, actually, because they are very similar names. You have False Penance. False Pen? How do you say it? I'm
Force
bad
Penance.
talking on False Penance. Thank you. So, how False Penance works, when a survivor takes a protection hit, they get broken. Which you're like, okay, but this works off Victor. So let's say David is saving Meg off the hook. Meg is injured. David is healthy. You jump onto that survivor with Victor, and now he's broken. So it's really good. It's same like you could just really chain hits with False Penance with Victor. So False Penance is very, very good. But the other perk that's also really, really good with Victor is Forced Hesitation. It's another forced perk. When a survivor goes into the dying state by any means, so including Victor, they get hindered. So you down a survivor with Victor, and if there's another survivor nearby, it's very hard for them to reach you in time to be able to kick you. So those 2 perks are... I don't think everybody will realize they actually work with Victor and how much of an effect they can do. Like stopping people resetting for 80 seconds with broken. You know, stopping a kick against Victor. Those can like completely turn the game around. In terms of my favorite perk, probably barbecue. This kind of... Like, I like barbecue in general on most killers, but this kind of helps with my whole tracking everybody at the same time thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hook somebody. It also encourages me to hook. I don't want to slug people much if I can avoid it. That's a whole nother topic, but you know, it makes me hook. I get a reward from hooking, and then I know where to go next with Victor, and like keep track of where everybody is. So yeah, I would probably say my favorite perk, probably in general, not just Twins, is barbecue. Very versatile. I think it's fun. I like it.
Maybe eventually we'll get 2 more perks that start with forced, and then you can have the full build.
Oh yes, let's go. Hell yes, I would love that.
The Force Twins.
Be great. Yeah, apparently. But yeah, those 2 perks are very, very good. I could go into like a segue about like gen kicking if you want.
If you want to, sure.
Why gen kicking's not very good. Yeah. Okay. In terms of like my favorite slowdown perks, like for, you know, gens and stuff, I probably would say pain res. The problem with like gen kicking is half the game you play as Victor, approximately, and Victor can't kick generators.
Let Victor kick gens.
Yeah, I know, poor Victor. So like things like oppression, pop, nowhere to hide, eruption. What else is there? Things like that. Overcharge.
Call a brine.
Yeah, like Charlotte's not kicking gens that regularly. I mean, you can, but then you're spending less time with Victor and you're probably not using Victor to his full potential. So that's why pain res is personally my favorite. Eruption's fine. The only thing with eruption, obviously you have to kick it to activate it, but Victor can trigger it, which is nice. So if you're down with Victor, then the eruption gens will blow up. It's like Surge as well as another one. Surge doesn't trigger off Victor again, so it's kind of like, how often are you downing with Charlotte compared to Victor? Probably not much. You're not going to get much value out of that perk. So like the best slowdowns is probably pain res, dead man switch, and corrupt. Because like Victor could run over to a gen and get that gen dead man switched. And obviously if you take it with pain res, then you're likely to get the combo with that too. Otherwise you can just take like anti-healing, like gift of pain, or even leverage. I've heard leverage is very useful. I personally don't take Fanna, but I have heard from other Twins players that Fanna can be really good. It's just not something that I personally take, but I have heard it can be really good. I should test it more, see if I can get some use out of it.
Yeah, fair, because it just feels like not a lot, you know. It's like 2%. It's like, well, yeah, it's
like the thing with Fanna, why I don't really like it is you get the most value out of it if 4 people are injured, right?
Yeah.
What do I not want to happen as Twins? want survivors to heal, but I feel like Fana gives them a little icon on their screen like, oh, we should heal. And they're not necessarily going to heal because, oh, it's twins, because they probably don't realize it's that important. But Fana just kind of encourages people to heal more. That's just how I feel about it. And like you said, it's sort of the biggest amount when all 4 people are, well, it's 2% per injured. And then it's 12% when they're all injured. So what's the maths on that? 4, 8, or 20%?
Yeah.
But how long are all 4 people going to be injured? I don't know. But I did want to mention it just because I have heard from other players like Comp Twins, other people that have played Twins as much as me. They really like Fana. I personally don't.
So maybe it's just like an opinion thing, and that's totally fine.
Yeah. I think it's good for like defending totems, for example, because you do like totems slower. There is another thing as well, actually. Devour Hope is Devour Hope and Third Seal, they're really good with twins because you can apply Third Seal with Victor. And with Devour Hope, it's triggered from Charlotte's position. So you just put Charlotte just, in the radius where you'll get it. And you can just play as Victor as close to the hook as you want and you'll still get that stack. So I do like Devour Hope on twins. You can also like...
Oh, okay.
You can also like defend your Devour Hope with Victor if you want. So you got like 2, 3 stacks, just plop him right there, even 4 or 5. Plop him there, and then you can just go around with Charlotte and down everybody. That's another little playstyle you could do. It's also Terminus. I'm not a big endgame person. I like to try and kill everybody before the gens are done. But I do like Terminus and No Way Out are a very deadly combo on twins. Because with Terminus, they're just all broken until the exit gates get open. And No Way Out obviously makes it so you can't open the exit gates. So you have like the opportunity in endgame just to completely destroy people. It's another very big counter to Adrenaline. Like Terminus just completely destroys Adrenaline. You obviously won't get any value from the heal from that. Twins are very good at defending exit gates. You can have Charlotte on one and Victor on the other. I'm just not a big endgame person, so it's not something I take often. But when I do take it, it has a it's very, very strong.
And you did briefly bring up like comp twins, so I do kind of want to ask, like, with the whole comp,
oh god,
with the whole comp mindset and like just winning a bunch of games in a row, like, have you ever done a win streak on twins? And do you feel like compared to other killers in the game, there's any specific advantages twins would have doing that? And do you personally enjoy doing win streaks?
No, it's not for me. I think a lot of fun with twins is like a lot of people like seeing me snipe and doing risky fun plays. And I would hate to like lose a win streak because I'm trying to have fun and do snipes, which people think is very entertaining and it's like kind of like flex points. It's high skill, it's high reward, high risk. So it's just not really something for me. I mean, I've definitely had streaks of winning with twins that I haven't noted down. But it's just personally not my play style. I know there's some twins players that go for hundreds of wins, but I don't want people to see me in their game and be like, oh no, it's this killer again. I want to win, but I don't want to absolutely destroy people. Obviously, it does depend on what the survivors are taking. If I was doing win streaks, I probably would slug more. Probably be like longer matches or just like, I think a lot of like comp players, it's kind of about like proxy camping, try and get second and then like tunnel the person out. I haven't watched comp in a while, but that's kind of what I saw. It's just not, I'd rather just do fun stuff and do points and make content. You get what I'm saying? It's just personally not for me.
Yeah.
Like maybe one day, but that my opinion has stayed that pretty frequently. I also just wouldn't like the pressure. It's fine to lose. Everybody loses. I think that's healthier than, oh no, I can't lose. Oh no, I've lost. Oh, it's the worst. It's I've seen other people get very upset when they lose. DBD has RNG. There's also just some perks that like completely screw twins over. And like the bugs as well. Don't agree side of bugs. I would hate to lose a win streak because of a bug. It's just it's not something I'm looking into doing right now. I'd rather do snipes and do weird plays. Take this weird build, take this weird add-on, do this thing.
Playing a video game for fun.
Yeah. But some people like the competitiveness. I didn't really talk about this, but a big reason I fell in love with DBD and started playing DBD is because it's not competitive and because it's more casual. It has gone a little bit more competitive as the years has gone on, but when I joined in 2018, it was a lot more chill of a game. The community was a lot more chill. People did more stupid, silly things, memey things. And I went from like competitive Overwatch in Masters, which is the second highest rank, being a girl on voice chat, being attacked all the time, being very, very stressed. And I went to DVD. I was like, there's no voice chat. There's, you're going to have horrible people here and there. It was like a complete opposite. I could just like play and just not worry about these numbers on my screen, and dying was fine. If you die as a survivor, it doesn't mean you lose. You don't have to get a 4K to be considered a win. It's very subjective, and I really like that about DBD, personally.
It is a party game. Like, it might be an advanced party game, but it is a party game. And it's,
Yeah, but I think that's special, because there's not many games like that, or they're not many games like that are as big as DBD. Look, if people like comp, that's great. Some people are into that, but for me, why I fell in love with it was because of the casual element and just the fun element and the silly element, and it's just weird. It's a weird game. It's really strange.
That's kind of a common misconception about Dead by Daylight, where it's just like, well, you don't need to be the best at something to enjoy it, because it is fun. It is a game. That's kind of the entire point of gaming as a whole. But with Twins, are there any common misconceptions about them that you wish people understood? Like, just a common grievance, or there's obvious counterplay not being used, like anything like that? Because earlier you did bring up the whole, like, okay, well, it is a very teamwork-based killer, and survivors just need to heal more, work together more, take hits more, and stuff like that. So what are, like, the most common misconceptions about Twins?
Well, probably, like, a lot of people take slugging very personally. The thing is, if a Twins slugs you as Victor, and then they immediately walk over to you as Charlotte, they are not using their power effectively to full effectiveness. It feels bad being slugged on the floor, but you're not using the full potential of your power. It's also, if I see 2 or 3 injured survivors in front of me and I have Victor available, I'm misplaying by not downing you all. And I think some people just really see, like, slugging as toxic. There are instances, like, if I slug very aggressively at 5 gens, I think that's annoying. But say there's 1 gen left, yes, I am going to slug more because I need to try and get some pressure back. I also wish people give Twins more of a chance. They do have bugs, but there's a lot of charm there. It's a very different experience. There's not really another killer that is like Twins, and I play all of them. I've played all the killers. I play other killers quite regularly alongside Twins, but Twins is just a very unique experience. It's very rewarding. It feels really good to do a snowball, and it pays off. Obviously, a Victor snipe is... People like sniping with Huntress. Well, imagine you snipe with Huntress, but it's in first person. Like, you get to really see the snipe. With Huntress, you throw a snipe, and you hear a sound, you see a little thing change on the HUD. Well, Victor, you see, like, everything. It's very exciting, very accelerating. So I wish people would just give them more of a chance and try not to hate them as much. Not every Twins is trying to slug and be an absolute misery. They're just trying to build pressure, and sometimes we're just lazy. We can't be bothered to pick you up. I'm sorry. You're too far away. I can't be bothered. And there's times, like, I've been playing this killer for over 4 years. I've had hundreds and thousands of games where different scenarios has happened. And I will do plays to make, survivors happier. And then I end up losing because of it. And then people are horrible to me in in-game chat. And I'm like, why did I bother to try and be quote unquote nice? They're just going to be horrible anyway. At the end of the day, survivors don't go over their way to make your game easier as killer. Very rarely, at least. So people just need to understand, like, if you mess up with Twins, you're all injured in an area, and the Twins is there and they take advantage of it, it's kind of your fault. I'm sorry. It's a lot of... you need teamwork. But yeah, that's what I would say. Give them a go. People say Twins are really boring to play, but they've played them 5 times, and they haven't really actually giving them a chance and really try and think outside the box. Because a lot of, like, little things you can get from Twins. Information and strategy and stuff.
And how frequent do you really run into people that, as you said, like, are just horrible to you about that? Like, how frequently do you run into fans of the killer? How about antis? And just in general with the community, how do you feel Twins is, like, treated as a character and as a player of Twins? How do you feel?
Okay, well, I have a bit of a funny thing with this. When I first started playing Twins, I would say the first 3 months I played Twins, people were really nice to me. But I think it was because I wasn't as good, so people were able to, like, counter me more. And people were really nice. And then, like, 3 months after that, people were then horrible to me. And then Circle of Healing came around, and then people were nicer again. But I would say, like, a lot of Twins hate went away when Knight and Skull Merchant came out. That was, as much as slugging is annoying and as, like, frustrating as that can be, the 3-gen kicking thing, that really, like, showed survivors to me, like, okay, Twins is annoying, but at least I'm not in this match for, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I can't do anything. Twins are quite rare. I mean, if you're saying, like, day by day how many people get annoyed at me playing this killer, if I say maybe out of 10 matches, maybe 2 or 3 of those. People might complain, maybe less. It's not been as bad. People seem to be enjoying it more. I have had some hate from playing Twins. I mean, the whole, like, you know, I've obviously been through cancer treatment. Some people have said I deserve it because I play Twins. It's very bizarre.
What the fuck?
Yeah, people are very crazy. But this is like 8 people, like under 10 people have said that. But some people just really, I think they have a bad match and I don't know. End of the day, it's a video game. I didn't make the character. I didn't, I just play the character. And I think people need to separate killers from players. Like, if you hate Twins, that's fine. I'm not offended. If you think Twins are ugly, that's fine. I'm not their mother. Like, I just play the character. I think they're fun. And people need to separate it more. I think, personally, I get upset if people say, oh, Twins are so boring to play. I'm like, you haven't given them a chance. If people say, oh, Twins are so boring to play against, I'm like, yeah. There's some players that are really boring to play against. I think that's fine, but I'm not going to be upset if you don't like my killer. It's fine. It's not that deep. Some people make things really deep, and I wish they didn't do that, honestly.
Yeah, like, I know Ghoul is not very popular to play against the survivors. They've been nerfed like 4 or 5 times at this point, so like, whatever. But I don't think it's ever serious enough to attack the person playing the Ghoul, like, even if you don't like their play style or the character. Like, it's like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, just go next. It's like, if mother never taught you, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, I just press continue. If you get blanked by me, then I did not have fun, typically. Or I'm lazy and I just want to go next. But if I have a bad game, I'm just gonna go next. It's fine. It's not that deep. You'll generally have a better time with the game if you don't take it so personally and so deep. And some days with DBD, we have bad days. It sucks. You have like constant bad matches, but there are some people in general that are just like sore winners, or just like they're just angry all the time. They get frustrated all the time. And I think if you get to that point, you really have to take a break or just like spend a little bit less time playing the game, because you shouldn't be getting annoyed every other game. It's fine to lose. It's nice to win, but it's fine to lose. It's even if you die and 2 people get out, it doesn't necessarily mean you lose. As I said earlier, it's a bit subjective what's a win in DBD. Getting a head-on stun is like a win for some people, Getting a flashlight blind or whatever.
Yeah, I actually got head-on like 5 times yesterday after not getting hit with it for months. And I'm like, what is in the water? Who made a video on head-on? Because I know it's happened.
Who did it? Whose fault is it? Oh, I've done that too. I'm like, why is everyone running this perk? I'm like, who's made the video? Who's done it? Who's responsible? But yeah, people just need to take the game less seriously. Some people hate that I make Twins content. Oh, why do you encourage people to play this killer? But end of the day, I think they're fun. I think they're underrated. They're not weak. They're interesting. They're different. And there's so many killers. There's over 30 killers, 40 killers?
40 now, yeah.
Let's see some of them. Yeah, like, come on. Do you really just want the same 3 killers all the time?
I don't.
Yeah, you might not have like the best match with Twins. The problem is as well, like, let's say you've gone against Twins 5 times and 3 of those times have been bad. It feels like it's the majority of them are bad. You understand? But if you go against them 20 times and 5 of them are bad, you've had 15 good games. You don't see them that much. So a lot of people that are playing them are more experienced, and your teammates are probably inexperienced. So I don't know. People just need to give it a chance. I feel. If you don't like it, don't play it. It's simple as.
If someone does want to give Twins a chance and they want to start playing the killer for the first time, what's some general advice you would give to the little Timmy Twins who's picking up Twins for the first time and just wants to know the basics?
Yeah, of course. So I'll say it's free. There's the first one. I actually mentioned this earlier. When you attach with Victor, it's best to leave that survivor and go for somebody else. Because when Victor's on your back, you can't do generators. You can only save people and open exit gates. You can't do anything else. So totems, generators, healing, stuff like that. So if you chase a separate survivor from Victor, you can pressure 2 people at once. And if you do want to only chase 1 person, try and get the M1 first. Victor's recall is 30 seconds. So you need to think to yourself, can I injure this person within 30 seconds? If you can, get the injury, and Victor's one of the best, if not the best anti-chase in the game. He can end chase very quickly and very consistently. But that's kind of how you have to think. I've watched some newer Twins players, and they don't use Victor enough. They will hesitate using him. You can always just attach and then just go somewhere else with Charlotte. You just want Victor to be doing something most of the time. For example, if Victor is on another survivor and you are chasing somebody with Charlotte, don't recall him until you have injured that person. There's no point recalling him if you can't use him for a while. Another thing I would say as well is aiming with Victor, try and hold your camera still. It's similar to Huntress hatchets. Instead of aiming your camera towards the survivor, hold your camera completely still and wait for the survivor to run in front of you and then attach. It just makes it a lot easier because I very rarely aim directly at the survivor because it's very easy just to barely miss.
So you wait for them to come into the middle of your screen where you're aiming rather than like moving your camera to aim at them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can also use Victor for tracking. That's the last tip I would say. Tracking's very good with Victor. He gets killer instinct around he shrieks. This also works on survivors' backs. So for example, you've attached to an ace on one side of Midwich. He's running around. No one's next to him. Especially if you can see his aura when you can recall him, you know nobody's in that area. And if you hear a killer instinct shortly after attaching, you can't see Victor's aura. You now know roughly where that person is alongside somebody else. You can also put Victor idle on like a generator that's recently been repaired or upstairs on a hill just to kind of track an area. It's very good for finding survivors and cutting them off. So that's what I would say the top 3 tips are for me.
And how strong do you think they are? Like, that was all the very basic stuff, of course, but like when you get to Twins, when you get to maining Twins, when you get to having thousands of hours on Twins and just like knowing the ins and outs, all of that, how would you rate Twins' strength? I don't necessarily just mean like, oh, hey, they're S tier or oh, hey, they're D tier, but like just your reasoning, your experience, your hours, all that. How strong is the Twins?
Well, Twins are very, very versatile on most maps. There's not the only map they're not good on is the Forgotten Ruins. That's their worst map. That's purely because of the portals. Indoor maps, you can't snipe and get around with Victor, but you get excellent tracking ability. So very good on indoor maps. If you take Silencing Cloth, an add-on I mentioned earlier, you can get very good undetectable plays. Victor is the best anti-chase in the game. Yeah, I would say he's the best anti-chase in the game. It's very hard to win a chase against Victor. They pull a pallet down, you jump over the pallet. They go on a locker, you can put Victor in front of the locker and counter that if you can. There's a lot of plays to counter Twins that you can encounter as an experienced Twins player. So they're very, very strong, but they are high risk, high reward. If you get too greedy, like if you're not hooking, you can completely lose your pressure. Some perks really counter them. Some items really counter them. It's a lot of risk and reward. That gap has been closed a bit since the rework. Before it would be you'd have to play very, very well to consistently win. Compared to now, you can make mistakes and recover because they're a lot faster. So they're definitely above the average killer. This might be boosted because survivors don't necessarily know what they're doing against Twins. But Twins are also considered very strong in comp. Like, you know, people that are either swift and they know what they're doing. So like either the bottom of top 5 or like 6, 7. They're very, very good. Very versatile. End chase quickly, apply pressure very quickly, a lot of tracking. They tick a lot of boxes, honestly.
So they're decent, they're not like OP, and the pressure that they can get can go away if survivors play well and actually capitalize on mistakes made. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't... Like, obviously that Twins PTB, the infamous one, they were very OP. They were very strong after that rework came out, but they did a change with Victor where if you get kicked as Victor, you now get a longer cooldown, which I think it punishes bad Twins and doesn't really bother experienced Twins. You shouldn't really miss with Twins. It's quite rare you miss with Twins if you're like right behind them. But I think that change was like balance them out just a bit more so they're not they're not super OP or anything. They're strong, but you need to know what you're doing. I wouldn't say like a brand new player can destroy with Twins immediately compared to like some other killers on the in the roster.
And there's a little bit of map dependency there with like Forgotten Ruins. You did just say is their worst map. What would you say is your favorite map? And is that in comparison also your killer's best map?
Oh, I don't know about best map. That's a good question. I haven't thought about that one. I mean, my favorite map's probably Dead Dog. Dead Dog's very, very easy to snipe on. It's got a lot of visibility. I also really like the Yamoka Temple map, Sanction of Wrath. For the same reason, you just get a lot of visibility. Let's say Victor is on the top of Dead Dog Saloon, or he's on the top of the Sanction of Wrath. You can see survivors with Victor, and you can switch to Charlotte and get them if she's closer. It's good, like, information and track. Like, that's what I mean. They're very good at tracking survivors. And obviously, you can snipe. It's very easy to get around. In terms of the strongest map, that's a hard question. I wish I could see like my win rates on certain maps. I mean, probably just like the maps that are good for killers. Hawkins, Midwich, Dead Dog's also pretty good, right? It's only really Forgotten Ruins that really annoys me. Obviously, you have like Banham and you have Area Crows, but Victor's very good at ending chase quickly, so it's not as big as an issue. But I would say those maps, like, and Garner Joy, of course, those maps can really annoy me. But yeah, best one, I don't know. They're good at a lot of different maps. So that's a hard question for me to say, definitely.
Yeah, I get that, though. It's actually funny you say Hawkins, because a lot of other people are saying, like, man, I hate Hawkins. So.
Oh, I love Hawkins. I got my world record 4K on Hawkins twice. It's a map I did it on. I haven't...
Twice?
Yeah, I haven't got it anymore. Someone beat it, and I was too sick to beat it again. I haven't attempted it. I mean, they've done all these changes now, so I don't know if you can get, like, fast 4Ks with the whole, like, can't go next. But yeah, Hawkins is just very, like, it's closed in, get a lot, like, it's very good for the undetectable, it's good for, like, exposed. Like, I do, like, Starstruck, I could hit people around corners with Charlotte. I like the tracking on it. I know, I like Hawkins, like some weird. I mean, I play Twins, I'm already weird, right? So that shouldn't be a surprise.
I feel that. I also really enjoy Hawkins. It's just a very solid map for Nemesis.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. There's definitely some areas that can be annoying as killer on Hawkins, but I don't know, there's like some palettes are just so short and awkward to use. I definitely prefer playing on Hawkins as killer than survivor most of the time.
And with how much Dead by Daylight changes over the years and things like Hawkins even being removed at some point and map changes, how has like the meta over all this time affected you as a Twins player? Like, how have perk changes, map changes, reworks to your killer's power that got reverted on a PTB because they were too OP, like all of that, how is the changing times of the game itself, how has it treated you and the Twins?
Well, I would say the biggest thing for Twins right now is obviously anti-slugging, but endurance. There's a lot more perks that give endurance, like Off the Record got a buff, We're Gonna Live Forever gives endurance now, Made for This was a thing, that was a big issue. Endurance can be very frustrating. But one of the biggest changes they made a few years ago, sometimes behavior do this thing. There's a feature in the game. It's been in the game for years, and then they fix it and say it was a bug. You understand what I'm talking about. It's very weird they do this. So Victor had a bug for about 2 years, 3 years, where he just hit through Dead Hard. If you Dead Hard, it didn't work on Victor at all. So Dead Hard did nothing against Victor, and then they like fixed it randomly. They said, "Oh, it's a bug. Actually, we fixed it." But Dead Hard is still quite hard to get on Victor, but it was quite nice just never worrying about Dead Hard. This is like when Dead Hard was very controversial. All my other killer friends were like, I hate Dead Hard. I'm like, oh, I'll play Twins, it don't matter. Victor doesn't care, you know?
No Dead Hard.
No Dead Hard, but obviously now Dead Hard works for Victor, but it's just endurance, like Off the Record especially, it's like, I can't. My biggest issue with Off the Record is you can just body block, and if you're on Victor, there's nothing you can do. Like, they'll really make it as difficult as possible to not tunnel them. And also, if you do hit somebody with endurance as Victor, for people that don't know, you get a free kick. It's like you've downed a survivor, so they can just kick you if they get an endurance hit, like endurance status effect, whatever you want to call it, deep mend from Victor hitting you, you can just kick him. So that's really frustrating. But I would say generally, like, Twins is the easiest they've been. Probably the strongest they've been. I imagine they were a little bit stronger after the rework, before they did the cooldown nerf. Obviously, I was very sick, so I didn't get to play that much then. But no, they feel good. Like, they're very, very fast, rewarding. There is some little things here and there, but compared to like old Circle of Healing, old med kits and all that, it's definitely a lot better these days. You just have to know what's out there and what to look out for. You can counter most counters to them, which is nice.
And with the other half of things, when the game's being updated, how do you think Twins' updates overall have been? So not just like maps, perks, whatever, but specifically Twins' specific changes. And would you say like any buffs and nerfs that they got have been fair?
Well, we don't get a lot of changes, but okay, so there was before when they were first released, they were obviously very slow. And the only really fast thing with Twins was when Victor would down, you would have a 3-second like kick window, and then they nerfed it to 5 seconds. That felt really annoying because we didn't get anything else to, like, they buffed 2 add-ons that was still absolutely terrible after they buffed them as like compensation. They did that with Death Singer too. They nerfed Death Singer and then like buff some add-ons. But since then, like, there's not been anything that's really made me annoyed. I obviously don't love the lullaby with Victor. My main gripe with it is the whole, it completely makes the cat's eye useless. So I would either make it so cat's eye doesn't give you lullaby as Victor, or just completely rework the add-on, I would say. But generally, I think since the rework, I've liked most of the changes. I still wish they would do my change with, making slugging not as necessary, like you can hook faster. I think that's my biggest issue. I really wish we could hook faster. They did do some weird change very recently where they gave Victor a terror radius, or not terror radius, so chase music. People have asked, like, is that a nerf? Is that a buff? I don't really know.
I think it's a buff, just because the Twins has good chase music and you almost never get to hear it.
Sure. I actually don't mind the chase music. I do like it. It's just very loud. I quite enjoyed the silence with Victor. Some people have said to me, oh, well, they can get a play of your food stack. Well, you could do that before. You would be in chase with Charlotte and then switch to Victor and you get a stack. But the problem with play with your food is Victor consumes stacks. That actually wasn't a thing a few years ago, but then they updated it and made it so you now consume stacks. Like, there has been some changes like that. I wish Victor worked with more perks. That, unfortunately they can't always balance things around Twins. There are other killers in the game, but it would be nice if more perks worked off like an injury state rather than just directly an M1 hit. It would just open more perk variety for Twins. It just feels like the devs are very scared of Twins because they have quite a high kill rate. But yeah, they're like the chase music, for example. It like lets people. I think the biggest nerf with it is if somebody's on a generator, they can see that like somebody else is being chased when usually they wouldn't be able to before. But chases don't last very long with Victor, so I don't think that's the biggest deal. Windows now get blocked, so if people quick vault over a window 3 times, they now can't keep doing that. Well, before they could just constantly spam a window against Victor. So that's why I think it's kind of a buff and a nerf. It's more just a change. It's a nerf if you don't like the chase music, but it's just like a weird change. I don't know why they change things randomly. I just wish they would focus on fixing the bugs before doing changes like that. Make sure the killer works first before you nerf or buff them.
I think that's a completely valid way to want it.
Yeah.
I think like my main thing with Twins that I would want is like just a closed captioning option for when the Victor swap happens for like that boing noise. Like, but that's like relatively simple, I would say.
Yeah, you mean as Survivor?
Yeah, for like, global sound cue shit.
Yeah, they do have a global sound, but it's hard to hear it.
Especially if you're already hard of hearing, so.
Yeah, and if you don't know Twins and don't even know that there's a sound.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be nice if there's like a visual cue or something.
And I'm kind of going to take a complete conversational left turn because this was something we talked about like an hour ago at this point. But do you think that maining Twins specifically has given you transferable gameplay skills to like other killers or even other games if you have some crack way of connecting it? But just in general, you did say like along the lines of you have like a chess game in your head and you're like, okay, I'm using my brain and I know they're over there doing that gen, it's gonna pop in 2 seconds, and over there they're gonna get the unhook in 3 seconds, and then like just all of that. So like, has there been any other transferable skills from Twins?
Yeah, 100%. Like you said earlier with the tracking, that could be really good on killers like Dredge or Sadako or Singularity, Dracula, Ghoul, like anyone that can traverse. It's really good to have a rough idea where survivors are. That wasn't a skill I always had. I got that from playing Twins because, as I said earlier, you want Victor to be doing something all the time. If Victor's not attached or not guarding an area, you're not using your power to full potential. So as the years went on, I just got better and better at tracking everybody all the time because I always wanted my Victor to be doing something. Obviously with like sniping as well with Twins, I've gotten better with like skill shots and being able to like hit ranged hits, I suppose. That's like another thing as well. There's also with like cutting people off. You can cut people off with Charlotte and Victor. You can do the same with Dredge's fart thing. What's it called? Remnant? It's quite similar actually. You can put the remnant round corners and switch back to that as they're running towards it. That's like reminds me a lot of Twins. So yeah, I would just say like splitting pressure and map knowledge and game sense has gone a lot better from playing Twins, paying more attention.
As you've gotten game sense over the years of playing Twins and just having an overall sense of the game, how long do you think Dead by Daylight is going to last, with Springtrap coming out being our biggest release ever and pretty much all the competitors dying. Just how long do you think behavior is going to keep cooking? How long do you think Dead by Daylight's going to be here, and how many more years have we got in it?
I think at least 3 years, probably 5 and maybe 7. So they're currently working in the year 2027. They're like, that's the year they're working in right now. They also have said that their plan for the game is medium, so it's not long term, it's short term. They're working for the next 7 years is what their plan is currently. But if you had asked me in 2018 would I still be playing this game in 2025, I probably would have said no. But here we are, and they are only getting bigger. They keep one-upping themselves. That's why I can confidently say 3 years for sure. Like, I can definitely see DBD still being alive and well in 3 years, but I don't know after that. I think the biggest issue is they really need to sort out the bugs on making like a DVD 2 so they can really innovate and build on the game, because they're quite limited with the current like foundation they have.
Yeah.
I think we've got quite a few years to go for sure.
I've heard a lot of people say that they want a DVD 2, just like Heroes of the Storm had a Heroes 2.0, and that game's like dead. They don't make more content for it now, but that's just Blizzard. That's not like the 2.0 update. It'd be nice.
Yeah, yeah, I get why they don't, because it's expensive, but it's like if you're making comic books and like a movie and stuff, I just feel like it will be worth, because that, like, I could, say, oh, DVD will definitely be around for even longer if they do that. They're very consistent with updates. They make a lot of money. As long as the game makes money, they'll keep going. I think there's still plenty of licenses they can get. I think the biggest worry for me is when those licenses run out, because I think they licensed stuff for 5 years. Obviously, we lost Pinhead, but say we kept losing licensed killers, that's when I would start to get worried about like DBD's future. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but only time will tell. Maybe there'll be another asymmetrical game, maybe there won't. I think even after DBD quote-unquote dies, like it doesn't get updates, it will still be around. The devs have said if they ever stop development on the game, they want to make it possible to mod the game. So if DBD died officially, I'm sure the modding community would take over and make some cool changes. But I think we're far away from that happening currently. I can say pretty confidently.
Yeah, and like no matter what does happen, they like the comp scene even thriving on its own, because DBD is not a game that's like comp. Like I'm gonna be honest, like there are comp players and like, but it's always in customs. I definitely think there would be like a thriving DBD community even if they stopped making updates to it.
Yeah.
Because like comp is impressive. I think they're making like an official league in Europe. Don't take my word on that one. I saw a Twitter post and my memory's bad. I'm doing my best, but like, I think they're like, it's being like official. So it's like they're passionate about it. And that's what's really cool to me.
Yeah, well, and DBD is now backing DBD League. Like, they're officially supporting them. I mean, the main reason DBD grew was because of content creation. And it's always been quite popular on Twitch. And content creators really helped this game grow. So I would be worried if a lot of content creators quit. That would also kind of show like the death of the game. For example, Marvel Rivals was a really popular game. It doesn't have as many players anymore. Last time I checked, it was 40,000 players, but the content creation side of the game is dead. There's not many content creators. So I think as long as like people still enjoy the game, keep making content about it, keep talking about it, then it all helps really keep the game alive, and obviously keep playing it and keep buying skins or characters or whatever.
Yeah, and it's still really cool to play that. I still have a good time, and that's like what I think really matters.
Yeah.
Like, it's a more casual hero shooter. Like, I'm not going to deny that, but that's totally fine. Like, if that's what you want, if you want to be Spider-Man, then you can be Spider-Man. So
yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I think content creators keep the game very alive and keep a lot of exposure out, because it's pretty much free advertising. Like, I discovered Dead by Daylight because of Twitch. Like, Twitch streamers were streaming it, and I looked into it. I wouldn't have known of the game without that. For example, obviously some people will see it on Steam. It's a lot bigger now, but I think a lot of people did find this game through like TikToks or streamers or YouTube or anything. It helps a lot.
Yeah, my first experience with Dead by Daylight was Cow Chop in 2017, and they made like a video on it where they were just doing customs fucking around. It might have been 2016. It was really early. There was like Trapper and Wraith, and it was like a 1v2 situation or something in customs, and like it was like they were one of my favorite creators at the time, and I got got into it with my friends for like 100 hours because we were all big couch hop fans. That's like all the creatures, Immortal HD, Uber Extra Nova, etc., etc. And then we got into it for like 100 hours, didn't really stick as a group game. And I got back into Dead by Daylight like as a creator because I was watching S.T.A.R.S. This is going to be a very classic story for a lot of people, I'm sure. I was watching S.T.A.R.S, who I knew for Dark Souls 2 hitless stuff, right? And I just saw that, and then he put out a video that was something along the lines of like why you should stream DBD, and I still can't find the video even when I try to find it, but he had a video about that, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'd already kind of been wanting to be a streamer because I thought it'd be cool, and here I am now. So
I'm so curious now.
Really a good way to get people into stuff for sure.
Yeah, me streaming DVD was like a completely random thing. Obviously back then it wasn't super big, but it's really grown into like quite a big directory on Twitch. Like actually, I don't know how easy it is to grow now, but before that, I don't know, people love watching the game. I watched the game for months before I ever played it. It's quite easy to understand in its core. It's easy to watch. It's also quite frustrating to play, so sometimes it's nice just to watch it. And there's so much depth to it. There's a lot of different, so many little things. There's things like I didn't realize was a thing until years later. Can you like think of an example of something that you found out years later? Because I can think of a couple.
I can think of a lot of initial reactions where like I thought flashlights were used to actually light up your way when DVD was like dark as shit, and then like I thought the exposed status meant the killer could see your aura.
Yeah, me too. I also thought exhaustion was bad, but it's like I'm talking that. For example, do you know there's range of missed skill checks? So a healing skill check has a different range for vaulting thing. Like if you fast vault, the killer can't hear it unless I think it's maybe 42 meters, 36 meters away.
I thought it was global.
No, I'm teaching you something. The only global alerts in the game is missing a generator skill check and pebble. Oh, and unhooking, of course. Those are the only three.
Really?
Maybe No Way Out. Yeah, but like, no, I'm actually not kidding.
Maybe I'm boosted. Holy shit.
No, I know, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know that for years. Like, healing is 96%. That's why sometimes people spam lockers and the killer doesn't come, because it has a range on it. It's crazy. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that for ages.
Oh, so like when someone's spamming a locker and I walk away from them and not give them attention, like I always thought like, oh, they just stopped.
No!
I didn't know they would still be doing it.
No, they're still doing it.
Wow.
There's another one as well. Yeah, there's another one. I'll tell you the other one. Okay, syringes are based on your healing speed. Did you know that?
Unfortunately, yeah, when someone like syringes a down person in my face with Wiglif and they get up in 3 seconds.
Yeah. I didn't know that for a while. I was like, what? It happened in a match, like, I think 2 years ago. I was like, why did that guy get up so quick? But yeah, it's like stacks. So if you have like Bonnie, We're Gonna Live Forever, etc., syringes, just get them up so quick. It's crazy. But that's what I mean. It's like there's so many small things in the game that they do, because the tutorial is so basic. It's things you just don't even think about. You don't realize how they interact. And it makes it again good for like content creation and watching and playing the game, because you're always learning new things. Always things that happen. Like I have things happen in my game I have never seen in 5 years of playing. I think that's insane. I'm like, I've never seen that happen before, you know?
Yeah.
I can't give you an example, but there have definitely been instances.
Yeah, I've definitely said things recently that's like, I've never seen someone do that to me before.
Yeah.
Like in the past week, even.
Yeah, and that's so cool. There's not many games like that are like, even years later, you get a unique experience so often.
Does help with all the stuff they add, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But my last question for you, the final one, the big one, is you've been playing this game for years and years and years. At this point, it's like 7 years later. You know, you have thousands of hours in Dead by Daylight. You are like undisputably the Twins. What would have to happen for you to drop Twins completely? What would be the final straw if there were to be one?
Probably just like, I mean, I've always said before, like making it so Victor can't down. Actually, and I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, like Victor can't down anymore. Like they just make it so he can't multiple down people if they're all injured. I've said this before, but at the end of the day, the Twins can only slug everybody if you're all injured. They can't do that if you're healthy. But I do get scared, like the devs just get worried about their kill percentage and do big nerfs to them. They're not popular as it is, and it's difficult when a lot of players don't know what they're doing against them, and they require teamwork, so the devs like nerf them because of it. So I think things like that, just like really big nerfs. I mean, obviously they're talking about basic unbreakable. Depends how they implement that. that or if that even comes in. Obviously, the PTB where that was a thing, it was very annoying. I did win. I made a video about it. I still was able to win, but it went on for a very long time, and it wasn't very fun for me, and it wasn't fun for the survivors. I don't know if I would drop twins per se, but I would have less fun. It would make it more punishing to apply pressure, which just kind of sucks. It's a bad feeling as killer.
Yeah, or if they take away skill expression from like the one thing you have.
Yeah, like there was one thing actually that I remember. What was it? Yeah, it was for Carnegie. So when Ghoul came out, everyone was saying, oh, why can't he go to second floors? Like, why can't he traverse upward? And the devs said, we don't want the game played vertically. Okay, but in that same sentence, they said, we are still discussing internally if Victor should be played vertically or not, which scares the hell out of me. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like
he can jump up to like on hills or something.
Yeah, like he like snipe. Like, are you gonna just make it so he can't snipe? Like, I think if they got rid of sniping, I would be really fucking sad. Like, I don't know if I would quit Twins, but I definitely would play them less. It's not a really OP play style. It takes a lot of skill. It's a lot of risk. I don't know. So yeah, if they like get rid of vertical play with Victor, I don't even know what that means. Like, does that mean I can't hit over pallets? Does it mean I can't like traverse? Like, I don't know.
As a unbiased second party, I was thinking of it more as like a positive thing. Like, they want to add like aim up further, and then you're in like the middle of Midwich, and then you could just like shoot yourself up through the window. That's what I was thinking. I would be like, that would be cool.
No, they don't. They don't want Twins to be.
Oh.
They're debating if Victor can play vertically. So they don't know. Yeah, I think how they worded it was, I could actually check if you want, but they said, we don't know if Victor should remain the same as he is now, along those lines. It's very scary. I don't know. It's weird. it's weird. I don't know why. They want to touch things. At the end of the day, they've been in the game for 5 years. It's not... And... The thing is, if you could go on a roof, like with Skybilly and stuff, if you could go on really high points as Victor and stay there, I understand, but you can't. If Victor's on a point that's taller than himself, he dies. Like, you can't do things like that. It's just very strange. So yeah, maybe they came out that changed. It would definitely... I would play them a lot less, put it that way. As long as I don't do any very major gameplay changes, I think I will continue to play the killer for the most part.
All right, cool. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for you here today. I just want to say, thank you for coming on and talking to me about Hit Killer the Twins.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope you give them a go. You better try one Twins game. You gotta do it for me.
I think I can manage one Twins game. I think that's completely fair.
If you get a bug, then you can DC. It's fine. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
But yeah, no, I usually I let people here at the end. I'm like, hey, thanks for coming on. This time is yours. If you want to share anything you're working on, if you want to give all your links out and be like, hey, your Lynxi's out.
Oh, I like that.
And like, this is all the places that you can find me. Time's yours, so go for it.
Yeah. I got Twitch, obviously, which is Lynxi. My Twitter is Lynxi Twitch. I'm back on TikTok and doing YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels if you're interested in that. It's either Lynxi Twitch, or Lynxi DBD. Lynxi DBD is my YouTube handle. I'm planning to make official Twins guide, and I do have some previous guide videos on my YouTube channel if you're interested in learning Twins yourself, or if you just want to see some gameplay and see what's possible with them. I do upload gameplay about them regularly, so make sure to give it a little check it out if it's something you're interested in. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much, though. It was good fun. Hopefully you learned something about the Twins. I hope so.
I feel like I've learned at least a couple of things about the Twins here, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a few years. Lots has happened with them.
And now for everyone listening, I just want to say thank you for supporting me. Go check out Lynxi and all the links that are on your screen right this very second. And, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, noon, morning, evening, night, whatever it might be. And I hope to see you in the next one. So, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.